party ground, and Boro.
Well, that was absolutely cut.
Yes, a very good evening to you, ladies and gentlemen. Let me just check that Yusuf. We've just had a few issues off camera. You can definitely hear me, can you?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, thank God for that. Don't know what was going on there. Yeah, we just had a few technical issues just before coming on the camera. Still waiting on one or two other people to join us. But welcome along to the stream, then, gentlemen. This is the EFL Championship season review for 2022 to 2023. What was a very entertaining and unpredictable season, of course, in the EFL Championship. Joining me, of course, is Yusuf. Good to have you back on the channel. It's been quite a while.
Cheers, pal. Yeah, really excited to join the channel. So thank you for inviting me. And yeah, I look forward to talking about whatever we're going to talk about.
I suppose while we're waiting for the other lads to come on, just say hello to everyone in the live chat. Make sure you get involved in the live chat throughout the stream, of course. Coventry on tour in the live chat saying Coventry will win the league. I like your optimism. I don't know if you will look. It depends on whether you can keep the likes of Gustavo Hamer and obviously Victor Gyökeres. I think without them two, you might struggle. Max has just joined us as well. Hull City fan. You all right, Max?
I am indeed. How are we all doing?
That's a snazzy top.
It is. It's very nice.
That's the
The whole kit.
I couldn't work out what it was because you've got the black badge now, haven't you, on there?
Yeah. The final kit with Umbra. We're leaving.
Wasn't that this season's?
Yeah.
Yeah, easily one of my favourite kits. Well, I say it's one of my favourite kits. It looked a little bit like Newcastle, unfortunately.
I want to say it's the best third kit in the league.
But you haven't seen our white kit.
The only reason I think I shouldn't say that is because everyone will think I'm biased. Well, look at it. Just
wait. I mean, you are a Hull fan, aren't you? I mean,
well, yeah, exactly.
We could be biased. We could be biased and say our. I mean, for me, our blue away kit this season easily one of the nicest I've seen.
No, don't get me started. I love that kit.
Brilliant.
Yeah, I do. I love that one. One of the worst ones I've seen this season. And for me, it looks far too much like Norwich, is West Brom's. I hate their away kit.
Oh, no.
Green and yellow. It looks like someone sneezed on it. It's not good. Sorry, it's not good.
It's not good.
For God's sake.
And we're off.
He's back with them again.
Yeah, he has to.
It's not just his Instagram.
I've been at them all the time, mate.
Oh yeah,
What
it's been a while since I've been on this channel, clearly.
Oh, it's not letting me join. Always end up having problems with StreamYard. Do you want to join on Instacall then? I say I can always take my headphones out. It normally works. Is it? Jude's having issues getting on. It's always the case with it always seems to be the case with StreamYard. I don't know why. It does normally work, so it's a bit of a strange one, anyways. Couple of comments in the chat, mainly this Coventry lad. Middlesbrough finished fourth. I mean, another season in the playoffs, I'd take that. Plymouth will probably play Friday night champions. Normally play first match. But who would Plymouth be against? I mean, if they're against Leeds, first game of the season, that's a long journey on a Friday night. Middlesbrough finish playoffs, but they'll lose the semi-final. Coventry will win the league. Well, I like your optimism, but the first part isn't wrong, to be honest, because I think both me and Yusuf could tell you how poor our playoff record is when it comes to EFL Championship. I mean, the last time we actually won the playoffs was against Chelsea in 1988, and if I'm not mistaken, that was some sort of relegation playoff.
Well,
oh God,
I think some sort of playoff, something that we apparently relegated Chelsea or something. back in like 88 or something. I can't remember exactly because I wasn't born then, unfortunately. I know because my uncle told me once. I can't remember what it was. Coventry will win the league. Yeah, we get the idea. Yeah, we can hear you. Good. But we'll get battered. Mate, you were the only Coventry City fan, right, who didn't actually give credit on the vlog. All the other Coventry fans were just saying nice things about the vlog, and then you just put "but we'll get battered." I mean, let's be honest. You didn't really batter us, did you, in Ivan? But it is one of those things. So we just didn't. We just couldn't.
I ain't saying nothing. I ain't saying nothing about Boro getting battered because I'll get hammered for it. I will get hammered for it. 3-1 at both rounds.
Well, we hammered you this season, didn't we? No, it's all a bit of banter, I suppose. Sunderland's away kit was nice this season. That's from a Sunderland fan. I want to say no, but
I can't. Hold on, I'm looking at.
I can't even remember what it. I can't remember what it was now. Was it?
I've got it up. I think. Well, almost. It was. Oh, it was the blue one. It was.
Oh yeah, it wasn't. That was. Yeah, that was snazzy, wasn't it?
I do kind of. I do like it.
It did. To be honest, though, it looked a little bit like. It looked a little bit like probably Sheffield Wednesdays, maybe. Sort of blue and white in a way. I'm trying to remember, was it blue and white stripes downwards?
No, it was like a plain light blue. So it was basically the colour of Coventry with like white.
Oh, it was the light blue one. Yeah, sorry. No, I'm thinking of the wrong thing. No, yes. Oh yeah, they've had a light blue they had a light blue away kit, if I remember, a few seasons ago, well, sort of back in 2012 when they beat us in the FA Cup. They had like a light blue sort of away kit as well. So it's not the first time I've seen them, to be honest. Key Commander's donated 10 quid. Oh, thank you very much. That will get me some iron brew. Speaking of which, up your nose, everyone. And
classic.
Coventry, we got mauled by the Tigers. Yeah, we know you're a Coventry fan because it says on the name Coventry on tour. So, first game I want is Coventry, Leicester. We'll come to that in a minute.
No more away there.
We've got a lot to talk about, obviously. Tomorrow, obviously, the fixtures come out tomorrow. Just a reminder, everyone, that obviously I unfortunately, although I normally do the Carabao Cup first round draw, I am not available because I'm working at the charity shop tomorrow till about 3:30. So I won't be available to do the draw. Let's be honest, we probably won't get anyone good. We'll probably get a championship team and lose because we don't normally do very well in the Carabao Cup unless it's against Manchester United. Then obviously that changes.
Bournemouth. I'm calling it. We're getting Bournemouth. I don't know where that's
mate, it's Northern and Southern section, mate.
We're getting Leeds.
So it's Northern Southern section for round 1, which is, I think, Championship League 1, League 2.
Correct.
I think second round we have possibly the 3 relegated clubs come into it. And then I think is it the second or the third? I think it's the third round that all the Premier League clubs come into it. I'm not sure. I know
all the 10 clubs except the ones in Europe.
I know we all come into the FA Cup in the third round, and a lot of the Premier League clubs come in. Well,
I think second round has all the Premier League clubs that aren't in Europe. So you'll have like Bournemouth.
So Manchester United will be in the third round.
Yes, because they're in Europe. But Chelsea probably will be in the second round because they're not in Europe.
I swear, if we get Chelsea again,
I can't think it is.
You can't get Chelsea. Chelsea is Southern. So you'll probably have like Carlisle away or something.
Well, no, they only have, if I'm not mistaken, they only have the Northern and Southern for the first and the second round.
I think just the first round, not second round.
This whole system is confusing.
It is confusing.
Tell me about it. It was straightforward a few years ago, and then they added the Northern and Southern section and all these different rules. And it's going to be strange. Although for the first time if I'm not mistaken, probably the first time we're actually going to see Wrexham in the Carabao Cup as well. That's going to be an interesting one. They'll be most likely. I think they'll most likely be Southern. No, they won't be. Sorry, no, they won't be. So
they will be Southern.
That'll be That'll be Swansea and Cardiff and Newport.
Yeah,
they'll be in the northern section. They'll be northern section.
No,
northwest.
They'll be Southern. Wrexham, aren't they like Wales?
Yeah, they're Wales, but them and Chester, they're like they're like Chestershire in a way. So Chester's sort of towards up towards Merseyside, etc. So it's because that whole area is classed as Cheshire. Same with Macclesfield, etc. It's like that's Cheshire. It's all. I don't know how they work out the northern and southern sections. I don't understand how they separate the Birmingham clubs as well in them sections. But well, come to that when we need to anyway. Sunderland are getting Burton at home in the cup draw. Oh yeah, and they were Peter when you got relegated against them, if you remember rightly. The first game, who wants Sunderland to get is Blackpool. Blackpool are relegated, mate. Okay. Best chance in the league is getting mauled by the Tigers. No disrespect, but I think it's the most irritating one.
I am a Hull fan, and I can agree with that. It is very irritating.
It's everyone just says it. Everyone sings it all the time. I'm not gonna lie, I just get on my tits sometimes, but
it doesn't help when we're losing. We get it bites us in the.
You get it back. I know. Yeah. I think our fans were singing. You're getting mauled by the bother.
See that chant makes sense. Amusing. When Luton did it, they were singing "You're getting mauled by the Hatters." I'm like, what can you maul us with exactly? I can use Remitly to send dollars.
Well, I mean, bother is classed as Lions.
Exactly.
Here we go. I suppose. I suppose we'll come to you first, obviously. We'll come to you, obviously, first, Max. I don't know what's going on today. I think Yusuf's frozen again. Right. Anyway, Max, Hull City this season, it's been, how do I describe it? Sort of possibly mediocre in a way, season-wise. You've had a lot of ups and downs, as you do in the EFL Championship, but obviously I'm not a Hull fan, so I can't really sort of, I'll struggle to obviously sort of describe it. But how would you describe it, personally?
I think our season's been, obviously it was better than expected, considering we've just come up from League One, and it's not been the easiest time of our lives, with us getting relegated for the first time in God knows how many years. Come back up. Shorter came in, we did all right, but then as soon as we sacked him the day of the Luton game, it was just like we've crumbled. And then Andy Dawson came in. We had a couple of good runs, or a couple of good games even. 4-2 against Rotherham was quite a favourite, I can't lie. And then we just started slipping down again. It's like, oh, here we go. It's the same old story with us, really. We go up somewhere, and then it's just like you just slowly come back down again. It's like we're back to reality, people. And then ever since Rosie's come in, I think just before the international or the Christmas break for the World Cup, it was more of the fact we've just decided, now another former player's come in. Let's concede a little bit less. Well, still conceded quite a few, but we won't talk about that. But
yeah.
But I think ever since Rosie's come in after the World Cup break, or just before the World Cup break even, it was a very interesting end to the season, considering we weren't really expecting much. All of our fans were a little bit too hopeful that we were going to get playoffs. Some of our fans definitely need to be more realistic, especially when it comes to predicting games against the top six. But this season, as you said, is probably mediocre for us. Really, not too high, not high in the table, not too low in the table. It's like good position for me. I said we wouldn't finish at the start of the season. I said we wouldn't finish any higher than 12th or 15th anyway. So it was very interesting to see us play out the season like that. But shot us, got us off, launched us well. We got a few wins here and there, got a couple of good draws away from home, but then we just started to crumble, and then it all just went downhill until Rosie came in. We shot back up a little bit, and then
I think it's what a lot of people would class as inconsistent, really. I mean, I'm looking at your stats: 14 wins, 16 draws, 16 defeats. So you dropped points in more games than you won, actually. And by the way, I've just noticed that this is the case. This was the case with majority of the clubs this season in the championship. Majority of the clubs in the championship this season got more points than they did goals.
It's a little bit.
I've just worked that out. That is, well, not really. They got more points than they scored goals. Like, apart from Boro didn't, obviously. Boro got 84 goals, scored 75. Luton got 80 points, but only scored 57 goals. You know, and one of the lowest scoring team, funny enough, was obviously Wigan Athletic with 38 goals. And they got 39 points. So even they got more points than they did with goals, which is I don't know. Doesn't look like Jude's going to be able to get on in the end. Well, never mind. 15th in the league for you. So, I mean, News finished, just doing the maths here, 14 points ahead of the relegation zone. So you secured to your championship status by a country mile, to be honest with you. So obviously you've got to be happy with that. But where do you see yourselves next season?
I think with the strong end we had last season with Rosie in charge, I do think he'll take us a little bit further than we probably could have got this season. What we did get this season. In terms of consistency, we do definitely need to bring that up, because otherwise we're going to go absolutely nowhere. 15th place for us this season, pretty much where we all expected, if you're not an idiot. So I think I've said it to many people. I think the highest we'll get this season is 7th. I don't think we'll get playoffs at all, because as much as I want to believe in my side, like, you've got the likes of Leicester, Southampton, Boro still. Like, what are we supposed to do? We've still got Watford and Norwich and stuff to worry about. So it is what it is. But I'm literally going to say, like, highest is probably 7th, lowest I'd probably expect is 12th, to be honest. I'd be happy with a mid-10th or 12th place.
So mid-table top 10, yeah.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, that's a fair point. I can definitely see that happening with Hull.
Especially if Carl Darlow stays and don't come to Boro.
Well, I was going to say he's linked with us.
That's the thing. They've said he's in...
I don't know how many Boro fans would be exactly happy having a Geordie.
You're apparently ahead in the race to buy him, but he said it's gonna take a while for him to make a decision. It's going to take a few weeks. And Hull's his top choice, I think, from what I've heard. So I don't know. We'll have to wait and see, but we can only hope.
I took ages to make a long decision when my girlfriend said, right, you got a choice of either watching the football or going out to karaoke. I said, give me 90 minutes to think about it.
Yes.
I'm coming out with jokes just like that, lads. You know. Gotta be one of them things. Well, let's see how many teams get mauled by the Tigers next season. Obviously, with the likes of the new teams coming up and coming down. Plymouth Argyle coming up to the championship next season. It's going to be interesting to see how they do. I know they've lost some key players, but they're going to have to get some signings in. Ipswich and Sheffield Wednesday. The 3 teams I was half expecting to get promoted in the end have all come up. We've got Leeds, who came down. How sad. we did also have Southampton, who had just a shocking season, and Leicester City. So 3 teams who have all won the EFL Championship in the past. Southampton in 2012, Leicester 2014, if I'm not mistaken, and Leeds obviously during the pandemic. So it's 3 former EFL Championship winners, or Sky Bet Championship as it was back then. It's 3 former champions that are coming down from the Premier League. Not the 3 that I think many people were expecting. But this season, 3 teams obviously went up, and we had Burnley, who I think majority of us knew Burnley were going to get promoted just with the team and the money that they had. Sheffield United also gone up, but the biggest shock was Luton. The biggest surprise package this season. How many of us actually expected Luton to get promoted? None of us.
Not at all. Yeah, no one expected it. But fair play.
I saw a hint. That was it. It was literally like a hint, but there was no definite answer for me. Really.
Yeah.
It
was quite a surprise. Just going on the relegation battle, it went down to, well, it didn't go down to the final day, but it went down towards the final days. I think the likes of Wigan, likes of Reading, I think we knew they were going to go down just with the points deductions and all the issues that had been going on. Blackpool, though, had an okay season last season. This season, they've gone back to sort of normality in a way, which I think most people were expecting. Will Ipswich finish above Norwich? Sorry, Nick, I doubt it.
You're hoping. You're hoping.
I can't see it personally. Did Estupiñán score since August?
Yes, but only like
he did,
twice.
but he didn't score many, did he? So.
It was like 2 or 3, and even then he got injured afterwards. So it was just like, oh, great.
Yeah. Norwich should be.
He got injured after Christmas. I was like, I give up.
He's had a bit of bad luck in his time, hasn't he? Speaking of the Norwich part of it, Norwich would be dark horses. Norwich are normally the team that are always too good for the Championship, but are terrible in the Premier League. This season, they had probably one of their worst seasons. 13th in the league, lost 6 points to Boro. It's the first time we got 6 points against them since, if I'm not mistaken, 2014 to 15. The playoff season.
Correct.
Obviously, Norwich and Boro among the top 10 favourites to get promoted. Boro are 4 favourites to go up, by the way. Level on, I think, 8-1 with Southampton. Leicester and Leeds are the 2 favourites for promotion. So, I reckon the bookies are doing that because they know the amount of money that the clubs have got. You know, they've got way more money than us. But Boro this season, despite having... It was such a bit of a strange season, really, this season for us, because we had an average start, and then we just completely fell to pieces. We were in the relegation zone. We sacked Chris Wilder, which was probably the right decision. Brought in Michael Carrick, and I know full well what Michael Carrick's like. I know he only had 3 games, I think, in charge of Manchester United. That was against Arsenal, which we won, Chelsea, which we got a point, and Villarreal away, which we won as well. So I knew, although Michael Carrick did well in them 3 games, but he didn't have much experience. It was always going to be a bit of a risk bringing in an inexperienced manager. However, I think you got to remember with Michael Carrick, is he's learned from some of the best. Jose Mourinho, I mean, Louis van Gaal, you could say is up there as one of the best as well. You know, he knows what he's doing. Van Gaal wasn't that good at United, but, you know, he's a top-class manager. Alex Ferguson, the master, you know, so he's learned and picked up things from, you know, from the managers that he's been playing under. He's come into Middlesbrough and has done a remarkable job in the space of like 6 months. It took us from 23rd, if I'm not mistaken, to 4th in the league, and we secured playoffs with about 4 games to go. Like, for an inexperienced manager with only 6 months, I mean, that's pretty remarkable, isn't it?
No, it's very, very good, especially with where we were at the start of the season. So you've got to give Carrick all the credit because he changed the system. It's changed system because we're playing with wing backs under Chris Wilder, but he comes in, he changes Chuba Akpom's position, plays him as a number 10, changed the system completely, and we look like a completely different team. So all the credit has to go to Carrick.
Oh yeah, of course, definitely. Things are bad if Norwich, things are bad at Norwich if Middlesbrough are getting 6 points against us. We never get 6 points against you. We normally never even get 1 point against you half the time, to be honest. The last couple of games just been 1-0, 1-0, 1-0, 1-0 in Norwich's favour. So it's about time we got a result against you. Plymouth are favourites to go down. Yeah, they are definitely favourites to go down for some reason. Followed by Rotherham, Huddersfield, QPR and Birmingham. Is this the season where, because I think Birmingham are lucky to stay up this season, because I thought Birmingham were absolutely dire. Is this the season that Birmingham go down?
Yes.
I don't think so.
Ooh.
Bottom three, Rotherham, Huddersfield, Birmingham.
No.
In
Birmingham
the
staying. Birmingham
Who do
staying
you
up.
think? Okay.
I think Rotherham will definitely go down.
Yeah.
Probably Plymouth. And then maybe Huddersfield.
I have a sneaky suspicion Plymouth are going to stay up,
Mm.
With how they performed against Chelsea in the FA Cup.
Maybe, because
they
they've got
showed
unbelievable
how good
fans.
they can be.
Well, their home record, I think, is going to be key, but I think they just won't have enough.
Mate,
Well,
the
they've definitely
trek
got the
we're going to
whole-
have to do. The trek we're all going to have to make to Plymouth
It's a long
now.
journey. Long journeys.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel sorry for Plymouth because they've got all their teams are up in North Yorkshire, mainly.
Well, yeah, basically.
All the teams they're up against are all bloody up north in North South Yorkshire, etc. So
Yeah. I mean,
long
Plymouth
journeys
can
for them.
survive. I think they can survive if their home record is. I mean, there's some teams that I think will struggle, the likes of Cardiff and stuff like that. But if they don't, then yeah, Plymouth might go down.
Yeah, the thing with Argyle had, if I remember, how many games have played? So 23 home games in League One. They only lost 2 home games.
Like I said, the home form is going to be key.
And that they were against teams that you probably wouldn't expect them to lose against. Lincoln and who's the other one? Port Vale, I think it was. I feel I remember rightly. But the beaten teams like, the top teams in League One, like Derby, who a lot of people expected to go up, Sheffield Wednesday, Ipswich, obviously they're bit of rivals, Exeter. I'm not saying they're a big dog, but they're beating some fairly decent teams at Owen Park this season. And they won the league. So them winning the league is obviously going to give them a bit of a boost. But it's all down to whether they can actually sign any players. Because the minute they've lost Danny May, they've lost Niall Ennis to Blackburn, if I'm not mistaken. They've lost a few key players. So unless they can get the signings in, it will be obviously a difficult season for them. But I say this is the thing, right? Is I'm seeing people on social media, right, putting loads of different table predictions for the EFL Championship. If you've watched the Championship for as long as we have, you'll know just how unpredictable it is.
Yeah.
I mean, no one could have. At the start of the season, I don't think anyone could have expected the likes of Boro to have been in the bottom 3 with West Brom. And then us to turn it around from 23rd to 4th. West Brom to turn it around and bottle the playoffs. Pretty dramatically, I think it was. And some of the games, there's no such thing as an easy game. Like, I've been criticised before by Boro fans in the past, and I've never sort of spoke about it. But I've been criticised before by Boro fans because apparently I'm not optimistic after time. And there's a reason for that. You've got loads of fans who can be cocky, to be honest with you. Don't get me wrong. I thought a lot of the fans I was talking to were saying we were going to win 3 or 4-0 against Coventry. I knew full well we weren't going to do it, just because I know how bad our playoff record is, and the fact that we couldn't beat Coventry in any of the games this season. I knew it was going to be a difficult task for us. And, you know, I mean, I've been told before that I'm not optimistic. I don't. You don't think Boro will win. You never think Boro will win. Blah 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 blah. Look, I know when there's games that Boro will win and Boro won't win. The teams in the bottom this season, especially, is going to be very difficult to predict. I mean, I knew against the likes of Reading, the likes of Wigan. Don't get me wrong, the likes of Hull as well. No disrespect. You know, I knew a lot of the home games we were. Sorry, yeah. I knew a lot of the home games we were going to win. I knew when we were going to win games. I knew we were going to beat Reading. I knew we were going to beat Wigan. I knew we'd get a result against Blackpool. Same with Hull. Birmingham, I wasn't so confident just because of our record against Birmingham in the past is not exactly great. They're a bit of a bogey team. So I know when there's games that we'll win. If I see a game and I'm like, realistic, if I know that we can win the game, I will go for a win. But I'm more of a realistic fan. Sometimes optimistic, sometimes not. If I think there's a game that we're not going to win, which one of them was definitely Luton away this season. Definitely. Coventry in both of the games in the playoffs, I just had a feeling we wouldn't win against them. You know, if I know when there's a game coming up that we probably won't win. Leeds this season, Southampton, Leicester, I would be surprised if we get any points against them three, to be honest with you, personally. You know, and that's not me what's the word?
Pessimistic, negative?
No. Optimistic's when you think we're going to win.
Pessimistic, is it?
Oh, pessimistic. Yeah. And that's not me being that, but you see, I'm more of a realistic fan. I have a sort of a realistic side where I think
I need that.
I know this team. Like, I mean, we know how good this team is. If I don't think we're gonna win, we won't win, personally. Like, I know when there's a game that we won't win. You know, I mean, this season against glass half empty, glass half full. Yeah, I suppose if you want to sort of explain it that way. I obviously couldn't think of the words to sort of describe it.
I need some realism though to being a City fan. You need.
Well,
realism.
yeah, I mean, I like a bit of optimism, but I don't like optimism where people are getting cocky, saying we're going to win by massive amounts of goals. Like, I knew we were going to beat Reading, but I could never predicted 5-0 against them, to be honest with you.
I would
Same
have
with
predicted
Preston, right? Preston, I thought we were going to end up struggling against, just given our past games against them. And we beat them 5-0. Like, sometimes I'm right, sometimes I'm wrong. But the games against Coventry, I knew we weren't going to win. I just had a feeling we wouldn't win any of them games. And I was right. So I like the optimism. I like a bit of optimism, you know. I sometimes go for big results against, the bigger teams and stuff if I'm feeling optimistic. But if I'm not feeling optimistic, I won't go for an optimistic result. You know, I'm more of a realism than an optimism in a way, you know. So, and some Boro fans just don't like that. I mean, the same goes with United and stuff as well. Like, it's the same with United, same with other teams. Like, I know if a team's going to win against these, if I see, like, I mean, put it this way, Boro versus Man City, realistically, I'd say we'd get absolutely slaughtered. But remembering the fact that Pep Guardiola has never beaten Boro in the Premier League. We are the only team that he's not beaten as Man City manager in the Premier League. So there's a slight bit of optimism. See, I'm one of those fans who sort of looks at I look at sort of the history of the meetings, stuff like, do we tend to do well against these? No. Birmingham, we don't do particularly well against them. Yeah, I think we beat them this season. Same obviously goes for Manchester United against Manchester City. I thought United would get nil pra. They got 3 points against them. It's the same goes for all the other teams. Like, I'm more of a realism than an optimism, and some people just don't like that. Like, I mean, I suppose fair enough. At the end of the day, it's up to them, but you've got to be realistic as well. I mean, you can't be saying we'll beat teams like Leeds 5-0 when realistically, I think we'll get beat by them personally this season. So it's a strange one, really, isn't it? But I suppose it's. I mean, everyone's different. I suppose. I suppose it's what everyone else thinks. I mean, Yusuf's you're always optimistic that we can win the games, which I like. And I love the optimism.
Try to
and
be,
but even yourself, there's games in the league that we just won't win.
Well, I mean, the thing about the Championship, anyone can beat anyone. You might lose against the bottom of the team, but then you might beat the team that's top of the table. Like, I mean, you alluded to it before. Who would have thought, Luton would have got into the playoffs, or where some of the teams would have finished? Like, you would never have guessed it. So anyone can beat anyone, and that's why we love the Championship.
Well, yeah, and I'm sure the same applies for you, Max, as well. That there's games that you see Hull, who Hull come up against, and you're like, I mean, I know Boro fans. I know I'm not slating Boro fans on the stream, by the way, if anyone thinks that, but I'm saying Boro fans, especially the likes of us, we look at the teams that have come up a lot of the times. We always think that we can get results against the newly promoted sides. And the newly promoted sides are the teams that always get results against us, which is it's so ridiculous. But surely there's games that you see Hull playing and you're like, yeah, we should win that. And then realistically, you don't.
Yeah, there's been a lot. I can't lie. There has been a lot of games this season where whether it's me or a couple of my mates that are sat next to me, like, they've always said, oh, we're going to win this game. We're going to win this game. And then there's just me sat there next to them, just like, not so sure about that. It's like most of the time when I was optimistic last season, we just decided to win or draw. I was like, right, okay, that makes sense. And every time I'm optimistic, it's like, right, we just got absolutely pile-drived. So that's fun. But I think what I did last season, towards the back end, I was just there like, well, if we win, we win. If we lose, we lose. I don't mind as long as we stay in the league. But mostly I am realistic now because I've grown out of the fact that we are supposedly one of the best teams in the Championship, and now we're just there. We're just a team. We're just there. But yeah, there were many games where I thought, oh, we could win this, but then we just lost our heads and couldn't get anything from it. So it happens to every team, but you never know what happens. Yeah,
fair enough. Box is predicting United to come 7th next season. Or do you probably... Yeah, he's probably thinking that United will focus more on the Champions League. I can't see it, personally. See what happens. Any preferences for the first game of the season? Yeah, Hull City at the Riverside would be an easy 3 points to start off with.
Home or away? Hull, home or away, we'll beat them regardless.
This season we're beating
watch us say that and we end up losing 6 points to them.
I'm so confident.
Remember 2017, the Premier League, 4-2, Harry Maguire's last minute header. Bush.
But we both got relegated. Did we not both get relegated?
I don't know.
So it's irrelevant whether you beat us or not.
We still got 6 points.
We still got relegated.
I'm pretty sure it was us, Sunderland, and Hughes.
Yeah, so it's irrelevant.
Typical Sunderland.
And then they got relegated the following season again to League One. So they had back-to-back relegations.
Yeah. Bye. Anyway, let's talk about the Championship as a whole.
Championship.
Burnley this season, obviously under a new manager, Fins and Company. I think we knew all along that Burnley were going to do it.
Yeah.
You know, at the end of the day, them going up with Sheffield United was, let's say, I think most people expected it. That they did go, but the playoff race this season was probably the most entertaining playoff race you're going to see for quite a while. Personally, you had Boro, who came from nowhere. Obviously, same with last season. Nottingham Forest came from nowhere, and look what happened to them. Luton have come from nowhere and got themselves promoted in the playoffs. Coventry have caused a lot of surprises this season, especially with their own form. And then obviously Sunderland also came from sort of in the middle of nowhere because they weren't having a particularly brilliant season either. So the 4 teams that finished in the playoffs, if you looked at like the first half of the season, you wouldn't have expected that.
No, and that just shows you that's why the Championship unpredictable. If you said to the Premier League, guess what the top 6 is going to be, you'll probably get it right. I mean, it was obviously Chelsea was not in there and Newcastle was, but you can kind of guess it. You get at least 90% of the table right, but Championship, you wouldn't get a lot of it right.
Max?
Yeah, that is me.
No, yes, I know that well.
Very, very funny. But yeah, it's unpredictable. And there's a stat that I saw the other day, and I know you like stats, Darryl, but apparently Reading, who got relegated, were in the playoffs longer than Coventry City were.
Oh, well, that's great.
Over the course of the season.
Yeah, but the thing you've got to remember with Reading is they had points deductions, which didn't help them for starters. Reading going down is quite a surprise, to be honest with you, because Reading are a team that have been in the Championship for many years. And they are also, here's another thing for you, Reading are the highest scorers in Championship history, 106 points. There's something I bet you didn't know. 106 points, so they've got the record for the most points in the season, which Burnley could have got if they didn't decide to take the foot off the gas at the end of the season. And for them going down was quite a surprise. But I think when you look at the points deductions and stuff, and they were on really, really bad form in the latter stages of the season, it wasn't really a surprise. But if you're going off the first half of the season, you're shocked, really. And it's a club, really, that Reading, I don't know what's happened to Reading, because they're a team that really belong in the Championship. They're not a League One club at all. You know, so them going down was probably one. Them going down and obviously Luton going up were like probably the biggest shocks of the season, personally.
No, it's decent, to be fair. But yeah, Reading, good side. And they got promoted to the Premier League a couple of times in the last 20 years. So, they have spent a few years in the Premier. They may have spent more years in the Premier League than Hull City have, perhaps, in the last 20 years. Forgive me if I'm wrong.
I don't know. I don't know how many times I've been in the Premier League, to be honest. Probably about 3 or 4.
Reading in the Premier League, in the last 20 years?
They got promoted, I think, 2006, 2014, a few times, I think.
2008, 2014, 2017.
Yeah, they've been in the Premier League quite a while, haven't they? Let's be honest.
It's good.
Plus to think, not that many years ago, they lost the player final as well to Huddersfield. That was quite remarkable, if you remember that. Just news come in.
What's that? Mason Mount's bid rejected.
That was true.
Oh well,
that is true.
That's been the case for ages, to be honest with you. I still don't think United will get him personally, but why would they want? I mean, as much as I like Mount,
you could get Maddison. Maddison makes more sense.
Yeah, it's whether it'd be. No, I like Maddison, but it's whether he'd do it in a United shirt. Because if you look at a lot of players that United have signed, that everyone's been saying, "Oh, he's a star player, and look what he's done now after time." Like,
It's different with Ten Hag. I think he
well,
can get the best out of.
yeah, it's true.
Sorry, I know
I mean, I can't lie. I mean, Anthony joining from Ajax, I thought would be a lot better than he has been. He hasn't been that good either. Weghorst was a waste of time, to be honest with you. Where was this news? It was on. I've just seen it on Twitter actually. Plymouth Argyle.
Ooh, what have they done?
Oh dear.
Oh right, no, it wasn't. Oh no, it was
Production.
It was retweeted by Liam actually. Plymouth Argyle have just announced their first signing of the season.
Who's that?
How the hell do you pronounce this name? Defender Julio Pleguezuelo.
From who?
Exactly. Who on earth is he? He's from Spain. He's a Spanish player.
Well, never write off a player. How many times have we seen players getting signed? I mean, Norwich bought Buendia a few years back, and no one knew who he was, and he was unbelievable.
Spanish.
So,
oh yeah.
And Coventry got Gustavo Hamer. So, like, you just never underestimate these people.
Oh dear, I've got a bit of bad news actually from Max here.
Oh dear.
Ilkay Gundogan.
What about him?
Oh yeah, he's left. He's leaving.
Barcelona's agreed a deal to sign him.
Oh great.
Well, Kovacic has
gone. The man who scored like 14 seconds into the FA Cup final is going to be.
City have replaced him
with leaving.
Kovacic.
I don't understand that one. I mean, Kovacic is all right, but for City,
what have I just seen? Oh dear!
Now what have you seen? Now
Steven Gerrard is in the book. Is the bookie's favourite to be the new Sheffield Wednesday manager? We're gonna have a great season next year, boys. We're gonna have.
Oh, by the way, do you know Patrick Vieira's linked with Leeds?
Is he?
Oh, fucking brilliant!
That would be an unbelievable appointment.
Yeah.
Next season's going to be great in the Champions League. Championship, that's great.
Champions League. I mean, we're not almost. Who is this guy? Julio Pleguezuelo. Well, I've got Liam and possibly Harvey on tomorrow for the League One thing, so I'll talk to them about that tomorrow. Just carrying on with the Championship theme, anyway.
Yeah.
I say. The season as a whole for Boro, I mean,
yes,
we've got now probably, I think, the second ever player to reach over 28 goals in a domestic season.
Yeah.
Or 30, actually, I think, nearly. Almost leveled Ravanelli's. Jude Blackpom, like, back in the day when we saw Jude Blackpom coming in, obviously, on loan, for me, I thought he's a decent player, but I think he needed a little bit more time. He's gone back to PAOK, done all right. Come back to Boro, it's just completely different. We're seeing a much better and a completely different Tube Blackpom to what we saw a couple of years ago.
No, I totally agree. And he didn't even have a squad number in pre-season. He was nowhere near the first 11, and that's why you should never write off a player. Because I know you're writing off Anthony and people like that. Never write off a player because you never know. You never know. They could just produce a magical season. He's had a run of games, and people forget he's missed 6 weeks of the season, but he's still Championship top goal scorer. He's fantastic.
I think that's the first Boro player.
Max is just shaking his head.
Yeah, because I don't like talking about Juba.
Why? Because he spent a loan spell at Hull a few years back.
Yes, and we didn't use him properly.
Sorry, pal.
Hey, well, I know you mentioned this earlier on, actually, regarding Chuba. We obviously saw that, obviously under Chris. Well, we saw it under Carrick as well on occasions. Chuba from obviously staying as the number 9 up front with Cameron Archer. And then sort of towards the latter stage of the season, we saw him playing as a number 10. Does he play better as a number 10 than a number 9?
I think he plays well in whatever position you give him. He's technically a really, really good player, which is why I think he plays, really well as a number 10. But yeah, Carrick is just a genius the way that he's got him playing really, really well. But personally, I think I like to see him do things with the ball. So I probably prefer him better as number 10.
Yeah, fair enough. That's fair. Do us a favour, everyone, by the way, in the stream. Make sure you drop the like. Make sure you keep getting involved in the live chat as well. Just going through the table, actually. Just having a look at here. Home form wise, by the way, just to tell you, Bubba had the third best home record this season.
Third best.
Only 3 defeats at home this season. One of them obviously Burnley. Burnley have the best home record, funny enough. They only lost once at home. And I think that was QPR.
Oh, yes, probably, yeah.
Like last stages of season.
So we lost 3 times at home. Who are they against? Do you know? Burnley. Hey? We lost 3 times at home. Hull? Not Hull. Cardiff? We lost 3-2 against Cardiff.
No. Cardiff, Blackburn and Burnley.
Blackburn, of course, yeah.
Oh, yeah, that reminds me. Blackburn, right? Blackburn were, I think, 2nd or 3rd at one point this season. They finished 7th. Like, this is what we're saying. Like, you cannot predict what's going to happen next in the EFL Championship. It's so unpredictable. Blackburn, for me, were one of the top teams in the Championship this season. And then they started to go on the derail. If you don't understand what I mean, they ended up dropping down the table a little bit.
They capitulated,
Yeah. See, Blackburn, I mean, if you look at sort of start the season, Blackburn probably weren't one of the favourites for promotion. But for me, they were definitely promotion contenders this season. It's just that latter stage where they just fell apart. And I think one of the key things for them, and I think they'll struggle next season because they've lost their key man. Ben Brereton Diaz was by country mile one of the best players I'd seen in the Championship.
By far, yeah. No, by far. I mean, there's not many internationals, and he was obviously a Chilean international. So, yeah, really, really top player.
Aye, Ben Brereton Diaz, what a player he was. Here's a question. I mean, I know what Yusuf's going to say, but probably, yeah. I might not, but I don't know exactly. I mean, I can sort of think of who Max is going to say, but I don't know exactly.
Idea.
Who's your best player of the season?
Ooh. I want to give a lot of credit here to either a midfielder or a defender. But I'm going to have to give it to Jean-Michel Seri. He's been a baller all season.
Oh, Jean-Michel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's been a baller all season. He's controlled the midfield quite well, even through the heavy defeats. Like even when we were like 2-0 down against Boro, he was still there, just doing his fancy little flicks and stuff. He was still controlling games, so it was great to see. Obviously, getting his first and only goal against Bristol City. My days, was that lucky? And then the assist to Harry Vaughan to get it through against Swansea. Ooh, it's very good. But I've given him credit all season. I need to give more credit to the defenders, because defenders like Sean McLaughlin, Alfie Jones, like, as much as I love Greaves at the back, like, both of them two have been brilliant. So we loads of credit needs to go to the defenders, really. But Seri's probably been my favourite player this season, simply because he's just done what he can do. He's done what he's done best at Fulham. So we'll have to see how he turns out next season.
That's not who I thought you were going to potentially say. One of the players I was going to say, for me, has been very, very good for us this season, but may have been slightly inconsistent on occasions. Ozan Tufan.
Yes. He has been quite inconsistent. But then again, he's had his good performances, and when he has his performances, he's on there. He knows what he's doing. And he can hopefully he can get more goals off the penalty spot next season, but
A goal's a goal, though, surely. A goal's a goal.
well, yeah, there is that.
Yeah.
There is that indeed. Just like against Swansea, Ben Cabango own goal. Oh no! Actually, the QPR one was brilliant. Ball in from the edge of the penalty area, and Dyke just goes like, right. So we were all sat in the North Stand. We're all like, right, okay, that was not supposed to happen clearly, but 2-0.
Yeah. By the way, we were saying earlier on that Estupinian didn't have many goals. He's actually scored 13, apparently.
Yeah. Because I remember he scored like 6 in the space of.
Well, he did score quite a lot at the start of the season, didn't he? And then
he scored 2 against, I believe 2 against Norwich, 3 against Coventry. Then goodness knows who else. Reading was 1. Coventry, I believe. Again, away. But yeah.
Mm.
And then he got the injury, and we were all like, brilliant. We've got an injured striker. Tete got injured. Another one. Connolly's injured. Great.
You know what they all say, tough Tetes.
No, it was very much tough Tetes at that point. But the joys of a City fan, you always have to live up to the reality. There ain't no expectations. We just live up to the reality, and we'll be fine.
Yeah. Just have a look at some of the comments by the way as well. I'm not ignoring all the comments. I'm putting them on the screen as well. On occasions, Hull 15 favourites to go up. Oh, that means you'll finish 15th again, probably. I don't see Norwich, West Brom, or Watford all bottling the playoffs. Well, they didn't do particularly well this season, did they? Certainly Norwich. West Brom was a very surprise. Was a big surprise along with Boro. Like, you look at a team like West Brom's caliber, and you see some of the players that got in that team are just very, very good. Diane Garner was a class player for them this season. They were practically bottom of the league in the first half of the season. Like, you couldn't expect a team like that. You wouldn't expect a team like that to be in the relegation zone, along with the Borough, obviously. Oh, Yusuf's disconnected.
I'm not gonna slander West Brom too much, because that'll probably, as much as we beat them 2-0 on Sky at home, which is hardly ever a thing with Hull City. We can never win on Sky for one, never win at home on Sky.
And you didn't win it. You didn't win at our ground on Sky either.
Well, no.
Although we were fortunate because you actually won the up at half time with a brilliant, well worked corner, but again, some cack defending.
Mm.
And then Tube Rakpom just turned up as usual. I was like, there you go.
He's like, where's he gone? There he is. That's my guy.
Yeah, and then the thing is, when we played against you this season, I thought you were more than probably worthy of the 1-0 lead at half time. But the second half, it looked like your plan was just to try and sit back and defend the lead. Doing that for the full 45 minutes, you're asking for trouble. Certainly against us.
We can't do that. We won't go. We won't.
Can't do that. But
can't do that against the top side.
I think you knew as soon as we got that first goal that it wasn't going to end up. It wasn't going to end.
I predicted 2-1. I saw us score. I was like, oh, we're actually winning on Sky, away from home at Boro. We have a chance. First goal went in for you. I was like, oh, here we go. This could go brilliantly. Second goal goes in, and I'm done.
There we go.
As soon as that second goal went in, I was just like, yeah, there's no chance now.
And then
We're
Jude
not getting
Blackburn with Jude Blackburn finishing off the job with a cracking strike, I've got to say. Cracking strike. Trying to think what was the
I do have to bring up one thing though that I noticed last season. We had Marcus.
Our defending was terrible.
We had Marcus Force, and then he went to you. He played shocking for us, and he scored about 1, if not 2 goals, and did hardly anything for us. Went to you. He's done all right. Connolly was with you. Could have done better.
Mate, Connolly didn't do a thing. Connolly didn't do a thing. I think you got to remember. What you got to remember, Marcus Force. Were you playing him as a striker?
I don't remember, but most probably.
Well, we were playing him as a white mid/white winger, I think, weren't we?
And there's our issue.
And he played a lot better on the wing.
Well, there's our issue then. Well done. Well done.
I mean, no. In fairness, he didn't score. He didn't really score many goals. I think he's probably got about 4 or 5, if that really. He didn't seem to score many goals, but he was known for creating the goals. He was more of a creative player rather than he was more of a team player than a goal scorer, really. And the same with Jude Blackburn. Like people think Jude Blackburn is greedy and just goes for the goal. He's got quite a few assists to his name as well this season. So Jude Blackburn's been sort of your all-round attacker, really. He's been more of a team player. Yes, he's been scoring loads of goals for us, but he's also been setting up chances and getting assists as well.
Yes, spot on.
Which I think a lot of fans need to realise. Some of the championship fans just go, Middlesbrough scored. Right, I'll give you 3 guesses who scored. Yes, I thought it would be him. Yeah, he always scores. What was his actual stats this season? It'd be interesting to see what his stats are, because I think, so although he got 28 goals in the EFL Championship, because he was the top scorer. 28 goals. He did only get 2 assists this season, but that was mainly because the times where he was actually trying to get the assists, our player missed. So he certainly knew where the goal was. Last time he played at Middlesbrough, by the way, he's played with Middlesbrough now 3 seasons now. So when he first came to Boro, played 38 games during the pandemic season, scored 5 goals. He was decent in them games, but we didn't see the best of them. I think he made the right decision of going back to PAOK, got a few goals to his name, and then he came back to Middlesbrough and 30 goal involvements in 40 matches. And 28 of them he actually scored. He was a team player. He was all right at setting up chances as well. But it's not just we've got to remember it's not just Jude Blackburn who's been the key player for us. One of our key signings has been Cameron Archer. Cameron Archer's been he's been a cracking player. Marcus Force has actually scored 10 goals. I didn't realise I knew he'd scored I didn't realise he'd scored that many. And he had 5 assists, 15 goal involvements for him. So you see, he's done all right, but he's been playing on the right. He's been playing on the wings most of the time. He plays a lot better on the wings than he does at striker. And that's the thing. So, the likes of Cameron Archer, Jude Blackburn, and Marcus Force have been, and you could possibly add Aaron Ramsey into the conversation as well. Them four players coming in this season have probably been key for us. Also, not forgetting Daryl Lenihan, who came in as well. I personally don't particularly rate him, but in fairness to him, he's done all right this season. I'm not a massive fan of him, but he's done well for us this season, in fairness.
Not a massive fan, but he's done good, so I don't care.
Well, yeah,
that's my reaction to many people. Well, you've done well, so go for it.
was never really a massive fan of him, but at the end of the day, he got the job done. So he got us. He was after the. He was pivotal in the defense. I didn't realize how good he was, because I said I didn't think he had an amazing. Like the first half of the season, I didn't think he was particularly good, and I didn't think we'd see anything much better. But let's be honest, I don't think anyone had a good first half of the season. And then the second half, once Carrick came in, everyone just seemed to improve. And some of the signings, although we've only... You got to remember, a lot of people don't realise that this squad that we've got, a lot of them are loans or free agents, because we don't have a lot of money in the club. We can't afford big transfers and stuff. So a squad with a lot of loan signings and some free players has actually got us to a playoff semi-final, albeit we lost to Coventry. But when you're against the likes of Gustavo Hamer, who I've got to say, one of the most entertaining players I've seen all season. He's cracking with the ball. And I know he wasn't the top scorer for Coventry, but for me, Gustavo Hamer was their player of the season, personally. And I'm not a Coventry fan, but for me, Gustavo Hamer was the reason why they did so well, in fairness. But for us, we've had, we had a lot of free agents, we had a lot of loan signings, and we've had an inexperienced manager come in.
Yeah.
With only 6 months to go, and him and that squad just gelled together quickly. We went on massive winning streaks, and we finished in the top 6. Like, in 6 months, it's just unbelievable what Michael Carrick has done, and obviously you just got to give full credit to him.
100%. And do you remember his first win as Middlesbrough manager?
It'll be November time, won't it? Or just before?
November the 2nd. November the 2nd, 2022. Who did we play?
November the 2nd. It'll have been before we played... it was just before...
It was a Tuesday night game.
So this is just before the World Cup, because I know we lost to Blackburn next game.
It was a Tuesday night game.
Tuesday night game.
Away from home. Max, I'm shocked you have no idea what it is.
Wait.
I'm giving you all the hints. His first win as Boro manager was a Tuesday night game, 2nd November.
I'm trying to remember it.
I don't know whether Daryl's trying to be sarcastic here.
he
no,
genuinely doesn't know.
Genuinely, I am wrecking my brains trying to remember who it is. Because I know we lost to Blackburn the next game, which was at home.
No, we didn't. We lost against Blackburn in October.
Oh, was that end of October? Was that October?
Leo was manager at the time. So the manager... Do you remember now? Leo was the manager. Then we got in Carrick. We played Preston Saturday, 29th of October. Lost that game, last minute winner. Tuesday night, away to Max's team.
To Hull.
Yes.
Yes, of course.
3-1. 3-1.
Of course.
And there was a lot of good atmosphere that day. I had all the Hull fans singing my name.
Oh yeah, that was hilarious. Me and my mates at the bottom of N3 literally just saw you and just like, aha. Gotcha.
You spotted me, and it was quite, it was
you were
quite
having
funny.
A right good time, you having a right good time.
And we won it. And even the Borough Twitter and the Borough Instagram put the caption of me and saying, Yusuf, what's the score? So that was quite funny.
Oh, I can't believe I didn't cotton on there that it was Hull.
That's all right, no worries.
Of course,
Max didn't even know.
Oh no, I knew. I was just sat there waiting for Daryl to actually realise.
And I remember watching your vlog, Max, as well. It was entertaining, to say the least.
No, no.
Who's
The
that,
anger in your face.
who's that other Hull vlogger?
Oh, the lad behind the goal,
No, there
the
was
young lad.
there was a
Is he
lad that
ginger?
was,
I think so.
I don't know if he's ginger.
If he's
big.
ginger, it's all Grandpa Joe or Joe
He's
Collins.
about as big as
Yeah.
me, probably. Who was it? He did
Forgot
he
what
did
his
a
name
vlog
was.
for it. He sits behind. He sits sort of. I sit behind the away dugout. He sat just to the right hand side of the away dugout. I think it was.
Yes, I think I know.
trying to
Yeah,
remember
and then he was like, "Oh, my mum just told me Rosinia's been appointed the manager."
who is it?
He went to the Riverside as well.
Yeah, he did go to Riverside, and I can't remember what his name was.
I can't remember what his name was.
Oh, yes, Ginger, Hull boy.
Also,
The Hull boy.
he's a good lad.
Marcus.
Yeah.
The whole boy. Marcus.
I don't know what his name is. He's called the Hull boy.
Yeah, I know you're on about. Don't worry. As soon as you said to the left, to the side of the dugout, I was like, no, I got you. I know who you're on about.
Spurs clearly aren't serious, are they, with this signing? They've agreed an initial 17.2 million deal to sign Guglielmo Vicario, the goalkeeper for Empoli.
Never judge. You never know. He might turn out to be unbelievable.
Garbage.
Garbage. Have you seen him play before?
I've just seen him.
I've been watching some of the Serie A, and he's packed. By the way, here's a question for you, Yusuf.
Go for it.
There's a former Borough player, not that long ago, played for Empoli.
Played at Wembley.
Empoli.
Oh, Empoli, Massimo Macaroni.
Yeah.
What
I call him. Yeah, Massimo Macaroni. As I think most of our fans will remember. As people remember 2006, yeah, the UEFA Cup.
Legendary.
The UEFA Cup semi-finals. Yes, still bald as ever, so there you go. Oh, dear me. Yeah, we've been on for about nearly an hour and 15. It's been a good chat, actually. I've quite enjoyed it. We've had a bit of a laugh even, haven't we? Same question, obviously, that I asked Max to Yusuf. Who would you say has been Borough's player of the season? I think I know who you're going to say, but
I don't think he was just Borough's player of the season. I think he was the Championship player of the season. And it wasn't just me that thinks that. The other players in the league think that because that's what he was voted as the EFL Championship player of the season. Top goal scorer. I mean, what else can I say? I'm not going to go into why because everyone knows. I mean, there's the proofs of the pudding.
City Sandal immediately.
City Sandal Cuba. No chance.
No.
Oh no.
I mean,
we'll use the Turkish money. It's fine.
Yeah, I knew it was a silly question, but I thought I'd have to do it. So.
Oh, someone's alarm.
No, it's a call. It's fine. Hold on.
Oh, your missus is calling you.
I mean, I ain't saying nothing.
Which one? Which missus? Which one?
Which one?
Is it the girlfriend or the wife?
There ain't no which one.
The girlfriend or the wife? Which one?
What the? What do you mean?
Joking.
You don't have one, do you? You don't have one, do you, Max? Well, you never said.
Not a wife. No, Jesus. Too young for that.
No, oh dear. Yeah, we're going to wrap it up for you soon. We're going to wrap up. We'll wrap it up soon. But I think overall, this season's been exciting. Very, very unpredictable. There's been teams going from good positions to bad positions, from bad positions to good positions. We've had Luton cause probably the biggest shock of the season, getting promoted against probably all the odds. We've had Borough and West Brom go from relegation zone to top 10. We've had Norwich, who most people expected to be top of the league, finishing sort of mid-table. we've had surprise teams coming up and coming down this season. So I think overall the championship this season, I think this season as a whole has been probably the most entertaining, the most unpredictable season that I have seen in the EFL Championship. And I've seen many unpredictable and exciting seasons, but I think this season was probably one of the best seasons for many different reasons.
100%. You know, shocking. You know, teams that are going down that you didn't expect to go down. I think people would have envisaged Wigan Athletic to go down, but how many people would have thought Reading would have gone down, or even Blackpool? Blackpool had a good season last season, and they started off well. They got in Charlie Patino from Arsenal, so you thought would, you know, and then going up. Like, who would have thought that would have happened? So it's a competitive league, and that's why I would love the Championship, because you just don't know who's going to get promoted next season.
Yeah, that's very, very true. That. Max, anything you want to add there?
I think Yusuf just said it all, to be honest.
Oh, sorry. Sorry, pal.
No, it's fine. It's fine. Boro needs to take this whole spotlight anyway. It's fine.
Well, we're used to it this season, aren't we? So, yeah, this is another Boro win.
Right. We'll see.
I'd say away, you'll 100% beat us. I'd say home is going to be a draw.
Nah.
I'm saying it now. I'm saying it bold.
We're going to get 6 points against Hull next season.
Well,
Screen record this, and show me next season.
I bet.
Well, the thing is, it's one of those things. I mean, Hull City. Hull City's a team that we, at home, we normally win against, but when it comes to playing at the KCOM, we've been a little bit inconsistent on occasions there. So, but I know in recent time we've had some fairly decent results against them. But I say a whole different ball game now. Obviously, new teams coming down. There'll be players coming in, players coming out as the new season starts to get underway. Speaking of next season, the new fixtures come out tomorrow. I say, I know it's difficult to predict, but who do you reckon will get first? And I know it'll probably be away because we never normally get home games unless it's last season we did. But
we had a home game last
season. Seasons we've been away from home first game of the season.
Well, we've got a 1 in 46 chance of getting the fixture right. But yeah, whoever we play, we play.
Well, yeah.
Basically,
who do you reckon you'll get? Who do you reckon you'll get?
Leeds away for Hull.
No. I want that to be the last game of the season. Last game of the season. Hull City beat Leeds United, just so we can say, have that. Hold it.
So they may have got promoted by then.
Hold it in your heart that you got mauled by the Tigers.
Fair enough. Fair enough indeed. Just to go through the ball numbers and the because obviously I'm not going to be live tomorrow till tomorrow evening, where I'll be discussing League One with the Argyle lads. The ball numbers for the Carabao Cup ball numbers were announced the other day, or yesterday I think it was actually. It was the other day actually. If I can find the ball numbers were announced, but I'm trying to actually find out where. Trying to find out where it is now.
What are you laughing at, Max?
I'm not laughing at anything. What do you mean? I'm not. Huh? Not laughing at anything. What do you mean?
Here we go. Carabao Cup draw included on the same day's fixtures. Oh, well, it did have the ball numbers on here, but it doesn't have the ball numbers now.
That's brilliant. Nice one.
Carabao
Exactly.
Cup draw. Here we go. Ball numbers confirmed on the EVO website. Here we go.
Yay.
So, so this will be Northern and Southern section, all alphabetical order. So Hull City are number 17, whilst we are number 22. And there's 38 teams in our section, 34 in the Southern. For some unknown reason, and as I thought, Wrexham are in the Northern section. They're in the Northern section. So these are the teams we could all come up against: Accrington, Barnsley, Barrow, Blackburn, Blackpool, Bolton, Bradford. We're playing them in pre-season, aren't we?
We are, yeah.
Probably won't be going to that. Burton, Carlisle, Crewe, Derby, Doncaster, Fleetwood, Grimsby, Harrogate, Huddersfield. I mean, we could end up playing against each other if it works out. Hull City, Leeds United, Leicester, Lincoln, Mansfield, Markham, Notts County, Port Vale, Preston North End, Rotherham, Salford, Sheffield Wednesday, Shrewsbury, Stockport, Stoke, Sunderland, Tranmere, Walsall, West Brom, Wigan, and Wrexham. So,
well, how are Leicester and Derby Northern?
Because they're East Midlands.
They're also quite southern as well, no?
I don't know exactly where the cutoff point is.
It's debatable.
I think the cutoff. I think they have like a cutoff point, sort of. I think they sort of split it. They split the Birmingham clubs for some reason. So whoever's Southern Birmingham goes in the Southerns and all that jazz. All the London clubs will obviously be Southern. I think they cut it off from sort of. I don't actually know where they cut it off.
Yeah. I
don't know where the cutoff point is. Well, they're the teams that are in there. Millwall obviously will be. Got a Millwall fan in here. Millwall Nutter. They'll be in the Southern section. So I say we got quite a bit to look forward to actually tomorrow. We've got the obviously the fixtures coming out at 9 a.m, and then obviously we got the Carabao Cup fixtures which will come out in the afternoon as well. You're optimistic. Millwall first place.
Anything's possible. You never know. They nearly made the playoffs. They bowled the playoffs, didn't they? So you never know.
Yeah, 3-1 up and they lost 4-3.
So you never know.
So
you never know. But is the fixtures at 9 a.m. or 10 a.m?
9 a.m. I think it is when they get released. So I have a feeling we'll end up away anyway because we normally end up with an away game first game of the season. So
would you rather start at home or end the season at home? If you had to choose.
We started and ended at home this season.
We did, yeah, but that's very rare. But if you had to choose, start at home or end the season at home? I'd personally end. I'd end the season at home personally because we could be celebrating promotion.
I was going to say, given the fact that our home record is decent, I'd have probably said start at home, then we get 3 points in the bag at the start. But yeah, obviously, if we're in a promotion race, etc., last home game, the finishing the season at home.
Like Brighton 2016.
I think most clubs certainly. I think most clubs as well. I mean, the Millwall guys saying as well, end at home. I think if you're in like a top 6 race, or if you're in like the title race or something, you could win the title or you could win promotion in your home stadium. So yeah, I think probably end at home. But at the end of the day, I'm not bothered either way because we still play 23 home games.
That is true. 23
doesn't make any difference.
23 away. That's true.
Is Max still here or is he gone? There's a minute we're looking at a time.
I think he's still here. I think he's talking to his missus on the phone because he's turned up.
What?
I told you.
You cheeky little man.
He did get caught. Sorry, pal.
You are cheeky, but very right.
You're very right. His lass was on the phone. You should have said.
Sorting out the whole City memberships for next season.
Oh, is it? She's sitting with you at the home games.
Nice.
Fair play.
I know Mia's got a season ticket now for next season.
Fair play.
Nice.
So
Fair
she's sitting just along, well, practically where I am, but just to my left, sort of just along.
Yes, I've seen her on your vlog.
Just along the 6th row. Yeah, so that'll be interesting. I mean, she probably won't get to all the home games anyway because I don't know why she bought a season ticket because she won't get to all the home games because she works on Saturdays sometimes. So
fair enough.
I don't know, but pre-season coming up as well. We've got Hartlepool, York, Bradford, and Yorkshire, which is going to be an interesting one. I haven't even got my tickets sorted for that one, so I'll have to get them quickly. Otherwise, I'm going to run out of time.
Well, they're only selling out the West Ham tickets, and you'll see someone's already taken it.
Yeah, I'm not worried about that. It's pre-season. I don't care where I sit. You know. As long as I sit in the seat, I'm not really worried. I say I don't always. I think thing is right. People buy the seats at the pre-season friendlies, and then they don't actually sit there because I know what happened when we were playing Saint Etienne a few seasons ago. I had to sit in a different seat. I'm sat in my seat, and then when the second half started, some of the seats in my wall were practically free, or there was just seats behind. I was like, oh, I'll go back here then. So not everyone sits in their usual seats in pre-season anyway. Everyone's always moving about and you name it. So I don't know, but should be an interesting pre-season. I mean, playing Bradford. I mean, we normally play against like York and Hartlepool, but playing against Bradford's an interesting one.
Yeah, no, definitely. We need a different challenge, don't we? So we always play, like you said, Hartlepool, York. So the fact that we've got Bradford, and they've got Adam Clayton playing for them, so that should be interesting.
Oh yeah, they got oh yeah, he's a pain in the backside, isn't he?
Yeah, he did really well for us. Got to give him credit.
Yeah, he's a pain in the backside, but no, I like him. I mean, he's a good player. Won't be easy. I mean, it won't be easy for us to defend against him. Are any of the seats even available? Oh God!
Told you, the high demand.
None of the seats in my block are even available.
Sorry, pal.
In the lower block. So never mind. Well.
Never mind.
I'll try and get. I'm going to try and. I'm going to try and see if I can find any seats somewhere. But thing is, with me and Dad need to be sort of together. Doesn't look like there's any seats. Doesn't look like there's any seats together. Oh no, there is in block 10. So we'll just sit in block 10 then. That's what we'll do. Anyways, yeah, I think that's a wrap. Really, I think we've talked enough. We've talked enough there. It's been it's been good. It's been good.
Very good.
And we haven't had many people in the chat as such, but we've had a good chin bag even there. Millwall Dockers stand up right at the back, going mental, banging the Perspex glass. That's nice. Yeah, defo if we get Dykes, we'll smash the league to bits. I don't know. See what happens. All South London is wonderful. South London wonderful. It's full of Millwall. Right.
Oh dear.
Okay. Yes, I'm not going to say that. There you go. Yeah, I think we'll end it there, Linton. That's the season review done for the 2022-23 EFL Championship. Very good season overall. Certainly for Boro in the end. Worked out all right for Boro. Hull City's first season, they survived relegation by a country mile. So I think Hull City fans will be happy with that. New season begins in new season begins in start of August normally. So be looking forward to that. There'll be more boa vlogs coming up for you all when the season gets underway. Potentially pre-season if I get to any as well. I probably won't, but we'll see what happens anyway.
Yeah. Smile.
At least I made you smile is what he was trying to say. Oh, I was going to say I clicked on the one comment. Never mind. Anyways, thanks everyone for joining us. Even though there wasn't many joining us, I don't think tonight, but thanks to those who did. And if you are watching this back as a video, thanks very much. Cheers to these two for coming on. Yusuf, I'll no doubt see you during the season. Max, best luck for the season, and
I shall no doubt see you at the Riverside.
Hopefully this time. Yeah, we were trying to last time, and it didn't work out, did it? So
well, this time we'll do it this time. It's fine.
Hopefully this time. So that's it. Hopefully see you. Yeah. Well, hopefully we get to see you. Hopefully we get to see you at the Riverside Stadium. If not, then it is what it is. But yeah. Cheers out for coming on, and I say thanks everyone for joining us. We'll see you all again soon. Bye.